Summer has a certain rhythm, and the simple pleasure of getting lost in a good book fits perfectly. However you read, the Sacramento Public Library is here to make it fun with stories, resources, and some surprises along the way. Here to help us discover the joy of summer reading, we have Justin Azevedo joining us today. He is their youth selection specialist. Justin, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, okay, so we're talking about some good funny books that we can enjoy.
Funny books.
Yes, and we got to start off with the kiddos. A lot of parents want to make sure the kids have some entertaining things to read. So what do you have in store?
Sure. So a new funny picture book I really like is Bearsuit Turtle Plays a Game by Bob Shea. This is the second book with Bearsuit Turtle, who is definitely a real bear and not a turtle in a bear suit. And this one, he plays a game of basketball with his turtle friend, which involves making sure the orange doesn't touch the ground, avoiding the hot lava, finding the biggest stick, and guessing the number he's thinking of. But the best thing about basketball is that you're on the same team and everybody wins. I really like this one because the zaniness of it is perfect for a lot of kids who have definitely played a game like basketball before. But the best thing about it are these dry asides on each page as the rules keep changing. They made me laugh out loud when I read it. And a book that can make both the grown-up and the kid laugh while reading together is definitely a win.
Yes, even just looking at the cover of it, I'm like, oh, this looks like a really good book. And then I like that basketball.
Basketball
is basketball.
I think my sons have actually played that.
Okay, so we got the kids taken care of. What about something a little bit older for the teenagers out there?
Okay, so teens looking for a lighter read for the summer might want to check out Ambrosia Lee Drops the Mic by Patricia Park. And this one, Ambrosia Lee is a former child actor who lost out on her dream role because of her weight. So lately she's been scuffling in auditions for roles like unidentified Asian female. Until one day, while being stood up for a date, she is introduced to the world of stand-up comedy. And now, without being held to a script, she can start telling her story through the lens of making people laugh rather than trying to impress them. I really like this one because it explores some interesting themes like body positivity, cultural stereotypes, but it does it through the lens of characters and dialogue that are genuinely funny. The author actually researched and performed her own stand-up while writing this book, and it actually shows.
Yeah, I like too, it's like turning a bad situation like, oh no, I got stood up, and then like what she was able to make out of that. So.
Yeah, and there's a turn in it too, because stand-up isn't necessarily any less toxic than the rest of the entertainment industry, so she has to deal with that as well.
Okay.
But does it with laughing.
There we go, with an LOL at the end of it.
That's right.
Okay, and for the grown-ups who want something a little funny, a little real, what do you got?
So grown-ups of a certain age might want to check out a new memoir by Jess H. Gutierrez called Adulting for Amateurs. And this one is a collection of short stories that she draws from her years growing up as an elder millennial. They are pure shenanigans that anyone growing up around the same time will definitely relate to. They are unapologetically bawdy and cringy. They run the gamut from accidentally alcohol-free resort vacations to loving the Twilight books a little bit too much. And they all kind of come around the idea that even as a mom of 3 with a mortgage and a yard full of chickens, you don't necessarily feel any more grown up than you did as the hot mess trying to figure it all out.
Right.
It's bite-sized. I really like the funny memoirs in bite-sized pieces like this because it makes sure that the joke doesn't get old.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. And you know, it's okay if we still like Twilight. You know,
no judgment, man. All reading is good reading. If you like Twilight, you like Twilight.
There you go. You heard it here. Okay, in addition to some funny reads, Justin, we also heard about a special library card for Sacramento Republic FC fans.
Yeah, we have a new limited edition library card that has the Sacramento Republic FC crest on the front. It's a way of kind of combining hometown pride with all the materials and services that the library provides. Fully functional library card, but also, while supplies last, you get the new card. You also get 2 vouchers for match day tickets. So Vamos Republic.
Okay, that's awesome. And then what about audiobooks? Who are audiobooks for, would you say?
Audiobooks are for anybody, but me personally, I say audiobooks are for people who think they don't have the time to read. Reading to a book and listening, reading a book and listening to a book, as far as your brain is concerned, is the exact same thing. So if you never have time to read because you're too busy cooking, you're too busy driving, you're too busy working, you're too busy whatever, you can still read while doing all these things with the audiobook. And so I personally, like, I listen to a lot of audiobooks while I'm doing my work because it helps me build my list of titles to recommend.
Right.
Because I have more stuff in my pocket.
That's such a good point, because I feel like I've been like, oh, I haven't listened to audiobooks yet, but then there's times where I have that long drive and, you know, after 30 minutes listening to music, I'm like, I want something a little bit more. That's where an audiobook.
Yeah, I talk to a lot of people who listen while cooking dinner.
Yeah.
Definitely while driving. But basically, anytime you have a couple of minutes, you can be reading a chapter of a book.
Okay, I'm gonna try some audiobooks.
Yeah.
Justin, always a pleasure having you on. Thanks for being here.
Absolutely, thank you for having me.
Of course, to our viewers, celebrate the joy of all reading. For more information, visit saclibrary.org.